For me, what I'm really getting excited about with the interspiritual conversation is how it reminds me of compost. A couple of months ago, I was at a conference, a symposium, kind of a retreat on food, field, and table. And it was being held at Warren Wilson College, which is near Asheville. And at Warren Wilson, they're doing some really amazing kinds of bio-intensive farming and agricultural practices where they're attempting to be a blessing to the planet rather than a burden when it comes to how we grow and share and eat our food. And what intrigued me when I spoke to some of the farmers and some of the student interns is they said, you know, our methodology is different than conventional farming, and it's even different than what is often called organic farming, because what we're interested in is not primarily growing food, but actually cultivating soil. We're growing soil. And they do this in a variety of ways, but one of the biggest ways that they do it is through the cultivation of compost. And in compost, they're taking the things that would otherwise be waste, that would otherwise be decay, and they're allowing the mysterious forces of life to interact with this decay and create some of the richest soil from which delicious food can be grown. Soil that would otherwise take nature like 500 years to cultivate. And when I look at our religious traditions, regardless of what they are, whether it's the Christianity that I grew up in, or Buddhism or Hinduism, all of the conventional paths, I see a lot of decline, if I'm honest. I see a lot of decay. And I think anyone with a pulse and a newsreader and friends knows that our conventional religious traditions are failing us in many ways. But to me, the story doesn't end there. You know, in the Christian narrative that I inhabit, resurrection is such an important metaphor and idea and reality. And so what I see in the decay of institutional Christianity, in the decay of institutional Buddhism, in the decay of institutional Hinduism, Islam, etc., is that there's this rich soil that is being cultivated, these practices, this collective wisdom, these communities that sustained our planet for millennia, however imperfectly, are now creating this space where the spirit can hover afresh, and men and women are discovering these new tools and these technologies that are new to us, but they're also very ancient at the same time. And so it's almost like out of the decay of what has come before, new life is emerging, and we can't afford to be picky about where we're getting this new life. You know, if we're discovering that mindfulness is a beautiful practice that can enhance our lives, if we're discovering that ecstatic dance and the zikr of the Sufis is something that can reinvigorate our communities, I'm seeing a new spirit of cooperation in the compost, in the soil that's being grown. And that gives me a lot of hope for a sustainable and generative spiritual future.